Okay, Venus?
Okay, Steve.
Right. Let's go.
I wish I was a spaceman, the fastest guy alive. I'd fly you around the universe in Fireball XL5. Way out in space together, conquerors of the sky. My heart would be a fireball, a fireball. Every time I gazed into your starry eyes. We'd take the path to Jupiter, and maybe very soon we'd cruise along the Milky Way and land upon the moon. To a wonderland of stardust, we'll zoom our way to Mars. My heart would be a fireball, a fireball, 'cause you would be my Venus of the stars.
Not easy, guys, machining high-speed steel.
I wish I was a spaceman, the fastest guy alive. I'd fly you around the universe in Fireball XL5. Way out in space together, conquerors the sky, my heart would be a fireball, a fireball. Every time I gazed into your starry eyes. We take the path to Jupiter, and maybe very soon we cruise along the Milky Way and land upon the moon. To a wonderland of stardust, we'd zoom our way to Mars. My heart would be a fireball, a fireball, 'cause you would be my Venus of the stars. But though I'm not a spaceman, famous and renowned, I'm just a guy that's down to earth with both feet on the ground. It's all imagination, I'll never reach the skies. My heart is still a fireball, a fireball. Every time I gaze into your starry eyes. Fireball, fireball. Every time I gaze into your starry eyes.
Well guys, this piece of timber I had on the wood lathe the other night. I want to, the tool that I've just been making today, I want to try and use that to hollow the centre of it out. Now I'm going to mount it between centres on the wood lathe and get it the external to the shape that I want it to, and then to hollow the centre out I want to mount it onto this back plate. 2 screws will screw into this. Now the trouble I've got, this was a leg off a coffee table that I've cut off, and when I've cut it, it's not square. The base isn't square with the side walls. So what that means is, if I mount the back plate onto it, instead of the workpiece running parallel with the bed of the lathe, because it's skew width, the centre of this isn't going to line up with the life centre that I've got on the wood lathe. I'm just scratching my head thinking, do I put it on the bandsaw and try and square it up on that or whatever, but the most accurate way of doing it that I've got is on the metal lathe. Now I've mounted a 2-prong drive on this end that goes into the collet chuck, and I've got the centre hole that I know is good on the wood lathe mounted on the live centre on this. So I'm just going to bring this carbide, very sharp carbide tip in and square this up, and I think that should be absolutely spot on then. Bit unusual for you wood turners, but if you've got it, why not use it? Well, that looks a lot better now, guys. That's pretty good now, guys, but I'm just going to take one more One more skim up it and I think we're good then. Well, I've got it running reasonably true now, so I think we're good to carry on. I've got 4 rather large holes that been made by some clout nails. There was a bracket, 2 brackets that went up to the top of the table, just strengthening brackets, so I think they're probably about 10mm deep. The intention is I'm going to shampoo this down, be wider at the top and down to this, the diameter of this part here. So first of all guys, the chisel that I made the other night, that apparently I was using incorrectly, I'm going to try and use it the proper way, see if I can get rid of those holes.
Okay, Venus?
Okay, Steve.
Right. Let's go.
I wish I was a spaceman, the fastest guy alive. I'd fly you around the universe in Fireball XL5. Way out in space together, conquerors of the sky. My heart would be a fireball, a fireball. Every time I gazed into your starry eyes, we'd take the path to Jupiter, and maybe very soon we'd cruise along the Milky Way and land upon the moon. To a wonderland of stardust, we'll zoom our way to Mars. My heart would be a fireball, a fireball, 'cause you would be my Venus of the stars.
Well guys, I've mentioned before that I was toying with the idea of swapping these tubular bars that form the bed out on the wood lathe. I've been quite pleased with it, but I think definitely the weak point is these tubular bars. And boring the inside of this mahogany out has convinced me that I needed to swap it over. I was thinking of getting some angle iron. But I bought some 80mm square tubing last week, and it's nearly £80 for two, just over a metre long, so it's expensive. I was going to swap this tubing out for some angle iron. Anyway, I looked on eBay the other night for lathe beds, and this cropped up. And I think it had been for sale for a while, and the chap had reduced the price, and it was only 15 miles away, so it was just absolutely ideal. It's not quite as long as the original bed, but it's plenty long enough for what I need. I'm never going to use anything much longer than this. Anyway, I bored this out, and as I said, there's just too much vibration on it. When you've been used to using the Albrook, which is absolutely rock solid, you just can't cope with any vibration. So I've been out and picked this up this morning, and looking at it, I think it's going to be ideal. I've still got this to finish off yet, but I'm going to carry on with that in a minute. It's flat bed, there's no V in it like the other lathes that I've got, which is like the wood lathes are, so that's a bonus. There's a machine T-slot on the underside of this that I built to machine a plate, drill and thread it as a locking device for the tailstock and the tool rest. So that's a bonus. And looking at the tailstock that I've got, there's enough material there to machine that down so it just fits into that slot and centralises it. So that's another advantage. I'll just have to conjure up some kind of locking lever to pull this plate up onto the T-slot. And on the opposite end, there's a gap in the bed as well, which is a bonus. And then this side where the headstock will go, it's probably 3/4 of an inch narrower than what the headstock from the wood lathe is, and there's 4 holes drilled in. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of work in converting it over, and I think that's going to make a massive difference to the stability of it. I believe this was a Myford Super 7, and the chap had bought it with some other machinery, and it's a shame, but he'd stripped it down, been selling the parts off, but I think this was the last thing he had left of it. Now I believe you can get a steady rest for the Myfords, so I'll have to look online, but that might be a bonus if I am machining quite a long piece and I need to use the steady rest to bore the end grain out. 40 quid, guys. I couldn't buy the angle iron for that, so that's going to be a future project, machining this down, and we'll have it on a decent bed. Right, back to this, whatever it's going to be. I've had some success boring the internal side out, and I'm just going around it with a sandpaper now, and it's taking shape from what it used to be. I'll give it 1 coat of beeswax, maybe 2 or 3 more yet, but it's been good experience with the wood turning chisels. Very strange.